Welcome to the 22-23 Heart of America Athletic Conference Men's Wrestling Media Day. I'm Cody Goodwin here with the 10-time NAIA National Champion Grandview head coach Nick Mitchell, wrestler Marty Marjolis. Guys, how we doing today?
Well,
good, man.
Right on. I know you guys already, you've been working at this for a month, had the first competition last week, got a duel this week, got your own tournament coming up this weekend. Coach, I guess I'll start with you. What do you like about this team so far in the early goings of the season?
I don't know. It's early. It's hard to tell what I like about them yet. I'm not sure if I do like them. It's so far as good, man. I think the young guys I've been impressed with as far as just they're putting work in. The first tournament, one thing I was impressed with our young group. Those guys, like, they were freaking really good on top, which might sound like a weird thing to pick out, but it's something that we spent a lot of time on in our program. And so to see those guys at that first tournament kind of put a hammer on some guys, that was a good start. And then along with that, I felt like our performance was pretty good at that tournament, but for the guys that ended up where they didn't want to end up on the backside of the bracket, those guys did a good job wrestling back for third. So just some good early signs about, what the future of what some of those guys could be.
Yeah. No, it was only one tournament in the books, got a couple more competitions this week. What are you hoping to learn about your team as the season continues to progress?
The coming up here, obviously we have a duel tomorrow night with Central Methodist, and then our tournament this weekend. Our tournament's always tough. A big part of it is, you kind of want to see where some guys are in comparison to what else is out there, but really want to see like how they're going to respond after this tournament. One thing we talk about early on is sometimes guys have a tendency to fall into like a pecking order, or to feel like, they've been working hard and then you go compete and things don't always end up the way they want to. It's who can recover from that. It's not just the guy that everything goes well for, but who can recover when things aren't great early on. Can they stick with the process? Can they trust it? Are they going to continue to move forward? Or do they start throwing their hands up in the air and maybe get a feeling like things aren't working, because it's way too early to start thinking like that.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the earlier tests I know that you guys have coming up later this month, you get to wrestle Iowa State D1 program. I know you guys have kind of gone out of the NAIA ranks sometimes to find, some interesting matchups here. You did the thing with Nebraska Kearney last year, doing it with the Cyclones this year. What do you hope to I hate to phrase it the exact same way, but what are you able to learn about your guys by kind of finding those irregular opponents, guys like teams and wrestlers you may not normally see throughout the year?
Yeah, really my plan with that always is I want to be tested. We want to find out, like, where do we need to work? Where do we need to get better? That's why we did the deal with Kearney last year. Some of it, it's fun. You want to wrestle the best. That's part of what we preach when we recruit guys here. Like, hey, we're not just trying to win the NAIA championship. We're really trying to find out how good we can be. And the only way you can do that is if you're going to compete against the best in the country at any level, any division. It doesn't really matter. And so that's why Kearney's coming down here this year. So we get to do that duel again. And that's really the plan with the Iowa State duel too, is, and we know they're good. They're really good this year. But what are you going to do? You go and you test yourself and you find out, what do we got to do to continue to get better?
Absolutely. Marty, to be on this team the last few years and to, get to experience some unique competitions like that against, Kearney and against Iowa State coming up here. How much fun is that, from the athlete's perspective to get your hands on some guys and some teams that you normally don't see, within your guys' normal schedule in a given year?
Super fun. I mean, being in the NAI, I feel like we always have like a little chip on our shoulder. Like, people going at home, I'm telling them I wrestle NAIA and they might not get it or whatever. And so it's awesome to get these opportunities to like show what we're really about. I know how good this team is. It's so fun to watch, like our young guys, like Coach said, our young guys looked awesome this past weekend. And then even just like now the sophomores, the guys that are stepping up, they're not the little pups anymore and they're freaking looking really, really good. So it's always fun to just get a chance to prove what we already know. So
yeah, the excitement in some of the younger guys, is that like how exciting is that to see in them, as the varsity guys, right? They have all the success that they're having. It seems like that inspires confidence all the way down the roster, all the way throughout the program, right? Like that's got to be really fun to see some of those younger guys, when they get their opportunities, they try to make the most of it in the Grandview singlet, right?
Yeah, well, it's funny because I feel like every year I've been here, oh, this is the best team ever. And then we get a new batch of guys and it's like, oh, this is the best team ever. And then we just got it again. We're like, holy crap, this is the best team ever. Seriously. So no, it's really fun to be an older guy and just like help mold the young guys and just set the path and hope they follow it. And pretty much all of them do. So it's pretty sweet.
Absolutely. I know Coach Mitchell and his staff have really done a good job just kind of embedding, the message into you guys that, last year doesn't matter so much as this year. You haven't won this year's national tournament. I know that's what you guys, it's a long way there. So a lot of season, a lot of wrestling left, but that's, at the end of the year, I know that's one of your guys' goals that you want to accomplish. What's the message this year, for the team, early portion of the season as you guys start to navigate these first few months?
I think it's always just focusing on the task at hand. Like we got a duel tomorrow. We got Grandview open after that, and so just knocking them down one at a time, not putting the national tournament up on like a big pedestal at the end, because that's what makes people nervous and freak out about it. But, we'll wrestle tougher tournaments than the national tournament throughout the year. So as long as we can remember that, and just stay focused on what we can control right in front of us, the national tournament will come, and when the time comes, we'll be excited for it and we'll tear it up. But right now we're just focusing on the next tournament and just honestly the next practice today. So
absolutely. As the season continues to unfold, Marty, last one for you. Who are some of those younger guys or, some other guys on the team that you're really excited to watch scrap this season?
Give me a sec. We have a sophomore GK at 97. I love watching him get better because he was just a raw talent and he's learning how to wrestle and it's getting scary. We got some other just fiery freshmen. We got a little 125 pounder, Luke Fogelman, who's just, he's helping me with my attitude of just getting tough and not caring. So I can, feel, you always talk about you want to have an impact on the younger guys, but you can feel that the impact that they have on you too. There's too many to name. Our 257 pounder freshmen that are freaking tough as nails, Dylan Witt and Kale Palmer. Kyle Wright. Oh man. I'm just going to name them all. So, but yeah, it's exciting.
Absolutely. Coach, did he miss any names? Who are some others that you're really excited to watch scrap throughout the year?
I don't know. We'll name their names when they start winning more tournaments, but we'll see. No, it is. He named some of those guys, and like Marty said, it's you're excited about the young guys, but you're excited about these guys that have been here for a year, maybe 2 years, and kind of seeing them getting close to having that breakthrough. And that's the part I'm really fired up about when I think about like the Grandview Open. It's that one match that a guy wins that all of a sudden changes everything for him when he realizes, dude, I'm here. I can compete with the best. And sometimes it's not even the match he wins. It's the match that he almost wins that he maybe didn't think he could win. And then all of a sudden he's like, man, I am here. And if I would have maybe not given that guy so much credit, I win that match. And so this is the fun part of the year when you see some guys like really start breaking through.
Yeah, absolutely. Last question I had for you, Coach. I see your rings in the background there, all the awards that you guys have won throughout the years. Winning last year's national championship a year after you guys, didn't win it. How much does that, is there a message for this year's team knowing that, it's almost like maybe last year was kind of like reinforcement on kind of what Marty was saying, doing those little things and focusing on, the things that are in front of you and the bigger things will take care of itself. Is it that same message for this year's team or is there a different message for every year's team at the beginning of the year?
The message is pretty much always the same. You tweak things based on the team and on the personnel a little bit. The reminder for us, I think, is we talk a lot about championship lifestyle, and that's step one. It's you got to live that lifestyle and you got to do things the right way, which leads to the results. But I think part of what we've really honed in on the last couple of years is championship mindset too. Man, you got to understand that we're still here to win. As much as we talk about like focusing on performance and focusing on the fight and not putting the outcome on a pedestal. It's okay to go win the match too. Like that's what we're here for. So we go and compete. We're not just trying to find out where we need to get better. We're trying to win. And then you find out what you need to do to get better. But as long as guys aren't going out there wrestling not to lose and we're not trying to protect anything, then we'll be pretty good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate you guys making some time for us this afternoon. Is there anything else you guys wanted to add before we signed off here?
I don't think so.
Awesome. Well, hey, I appreciate the time again. Best of luck coming up with your competitions this week and throughout the rest of the season. I'm sure we'll be in touch.
Sounds good. Thanks, Cody.
Thank you.